In the physical world, the way up is to try to initiate ascensions. The way up is to exalt yourself. The way up is to promote yourself. The way up is to continue to advance your agenda until you subjugate the people around you. Then you rise as a prince among them. But in the kingdom, the way up is service. It is the least among us that is the greatest of all. In the kingdom, the way to be blessed is to give out. In this world, the way to be blessed is to store, increase, hide it, never release it. There are many laws that antagonizes themselves. That is why when you look carefully into the laws that govern the physical creation, you will realize that why hypocrisy and pretense can thrive in the physical world, it is not a conduct that will be left unpunished in the spiritual. In the physical, you can deceive men, adopt certain postures that make you look spiritual, and you can successfully convince a people that you have a stake with God. But in the spiritual, your hypocrisy is laid bare both to spirits of corrupt instinct and spirits of light. So even darkness know you that you are fake. You are not even hiding from anybody. This is where the challenge is. We can be shouting mantles because I can sense in my spirit a window of transition open for the church. And while we were supposed to be maximizing the protocol of transition, transition has a protocol. There are laws that make transition effective. There are laws that make the transfer of inheritance to prosper. You don't get up from your slumber and say, I carry the grace of. It's not a confession. There are laws that make it impossible for you not to inherit that scepter. I see people kneel down. I see their knees on the ground, yet their heart is lofty. The whole of that physical charade is just to deceive men. I see people trying to show that they are stewards, but it's all for eye service. The moment there is no commendation from man, you will see how quick they are to abandon their duty posts. I will show you the demand in transition. In 1 Kings chapter 17, when God began to tell Elijah, go and anoint Elisha in your stead. Meaning, go and transfer your inheritance in the spirit to him. Give him your heritage. Transfer this labor to him. You will almost assume that Elijah will go and meet Elisha and say, such as I have, I give to you. No. He went to meet Elisha in the farm, laboring on the farmland. He looked at Elisha and threw his mantle on him. The moment the cloak fell on Elisha, Elisha abandoned farm work, stood up immediately and started following Elijah. He followed Elijah first as a servant. He was the one that poured water for Elijah. He was the one that ministered to him. You will see the journey proceed from 1 Kings 17 up until 2 King before you can even hear about a transaction between them. He labored with him. The moment it was time for a scepter to be released, aside from serving, so the first condition in the season of transition is service. Service. These mantles don't come for nobles, they come for servants. Servants. Those with a history of service. Scepters is not goosebump. It's not sensation in your palm. I know in revival service there are all of these cliches. Somebody will feel a sensation on their palm. Hi. If you know the protocol to enter into an ordination, you will understand that nobody wakes up as a stranger and inherits things that only sons should enter. Servants don't have inheritance. Only sons have. When Satan wants to disengage you from an inheritance, he brings the spirit of offense. Offense will just spread in that space. You see, I've never seen a people that are undiscerning like our generation. Go online and see the demonic drum beats. Spirits are beating drums and we are dancing to their tune. From every form of collisions going on, this man against this man, this group against this group, this clan against this clan. What? When you now look at what is going on, you will realize that the real person benefiting from all of this thing is not God. A generation is distracted because we do not yet know that to inherit scepters and to come into inheritances of many generations. It's not men that transfer it. It's a realm that compromise cannot hide. A realm that deception cannot suffice. The realm that is actually going to approve that transaction is not men. It's not men. So they will weigh the intent of your heart, weigh the meditations, weigh your secret thought. If there is no honor for God and the authorities he has constituted in different spaces, you will talk with your mouth and your hand will never handle it. When I came to this town, I just finished from campus. I had previously served in a very thriving fellowship in Zaria. And when I entered Kaduna, the first thing God told me is to go and serve. Let the land have a record of you as a servant. It will never honor you as a prince until you emerge first. You will first come out as a servant. When I went there, the first thing they did, they threw me to ushering. Meanwhile, I have been an usher in FCS ABU for 3 years. When they saw that, oh, see, it was the most beautiful years of my life. I will come out from the lecture, go and dress quickly, wear my shoe, put my tie on, and they will put me at the entrance. Our work is to clean the chairs and allot people to their seats. For 3 years, non-stop. Later, I became prayer secretary twice. I became a leader in the fellowship we served in Zaria. And I found out that all of these things were bringing me into deeper and deeper levels of service. If you call anybody from the groups I served and say, among us here, who do you think God will use as a voice in his generation? My name will not be counted among them. The way up in this kingdom is down. You serve. God says, give Elisha, but Elisha began to serve. Elisha has no record. Elisha did not know the conversation that was between God and Elijah. If only he knew. If only he knew that it was God that mentioned his name. That people were living their life out of the multitude of men. God knew your name. God mentioned it to the ear of Elijah. Go and anoint Elisha in your stead. But it all started like a casual day. Like it was just coincidence. I don't know what brought this prophet to my space, but whatever it is, me, I will partner with it. Imagine how quick, how easy it would have been for Elisha to miss that visitation. Because all Elijah did was to throw a mantle on him. Meanwhile, before the mantle came upon Elisha, he was busy. He was laboring in the farm. That's enough excuse to say, I have something doing, please. He abandoned it and began to follow the man. Began to minister to him until the moment of the exchange came. And that's where I want to come tonight. Give me 15 minutes to establish it. There's a prophetic significance to the locations that they visited before the final exchange. Are we together? Yes. The first place where the journey started from, Elijah looked at Elisha, having served him, knowing fully well that God would take him. He told Elisha for the first time, you please wait here. Let me just go ahead and go and offer some oblations to God. Elisha said, as long as the Lord lives, I will never leave you. Meaning that I have not served to come to this moment of exchange and then not be around in the day where the scepter exchange. This is what Satan does. In the last moment of reward, the moment of coronation, something will come up, something that legitimately gives you an excuse to be to abandon that place you have labored for long. Oh, but glory to God. Elisha was discerning. I will not leave. Then they proceeded into Gilgal. Gilgal is the place of circumcision. That is the dealing God had with Israel in Gilgal. Is the house of circumcision. Meaning that it's a place where, apart from your stewardship, because the first criterion is stewardship, when you have served, if you are serving in a system where you want to inherit an inheritance in that house, and you are able to become a servant, it's not enough to get the inheritance. The moment you have served effectively, the next place that we journey to is Gilgal. And in Gilgal, what happens there is circumcision. Circumcision is a model of consecration. There is a pruning that you deliberately subject yourself to. You can do without the pruning. If you understand the concept of circumcision, you will know that actually you can live your whole life without being circumcised, and it is not going to constitute a health challenge to you. The reason for the circumcision is that there is something you subjected yourself to in order to align to the demand of a spirit. That's what consecrations are. There are unique dealings, unique instructions modeled by both man and spirit in order to keep a dimension of God open to you. If, in case you don't know what I'm saying, you can never wield a scepter. You can never inherit a mantle that you have not obeyed the consecrations of that mantle. Every mantle has its consecrations. The people who wield it, there is a way they live. The people who carry that scepter, there is a way. There is and it's not only consecrations mantles have. Every mantle also have its warfares. There are enemies that are attracted to anybody that operates that dimension. They have fought many before you. You are not the first. Hi. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So you can find a brother, he has never missed service. He comes very early, always around the four wall of the church. But when it comes to the matter of consecration, the journey to Gilead, that's where he becomes lacking. That's where spirit finds a void. You are around, you are serving, quite all right. You have labored. People know that you give yourself to kingdom advancement. But when it comes to the consecration of that scepter, that's where Satan begins to manipulate, creates a conversation, a debate. That's where you begin to choose which law to obey and which one to break. Meanwhile, you will never be crowned until you strive lawfully. Today I'm repeating this thing to the hearing of anybody who can even hear the whispers of the Spirit. Those consecrations, the Holy Ghost is echoing in your soul. You are not the only one he's telling. It's a bulk SMS. Everybody is picking it in the territory. A few people will begin to obey soon. Then you will see the difference between those who obey and those who continue to walk in rebellion. I told you that the realm that authenticates this transaction is a realm that hypocrisy cannot thrive. You cannot use any form of manipulation to succeed in that place. It's spirits that try men. You are producing something that is leading me to a place. If we follow what you are doing, we will be trapped somewhere. Because of the shape of your territory, your consecrations, the laid out rules that will be itemized by a spirit, it will be in the reality, in the light of what is actually fighting in that space. Your consecrations will be in the light of the hostilities that are lodged in that territory. So consecrations will not necessarily be about right and wrong. It will be about cutting your hand if it's going to lead you to sin. It will be about removing one of your eye if it's going to predispose you to corruption. It will be about making sure that anything that has the capacity to expose you to sin, you do without it. That's where consecration starts, and that is what Gilgal is intended to bring us into. Because you do not qualify for what you are asking for until you can keep the consecrations of that mantle. There are certain mantles, the day you ask for them, your night no longer belongs to you. That's the moment you say, give me, before you say me, they say, you that love sleep. There are those of us here, the only time God has heard your prayers in the night is because they manipulated you by showing you a nightmare. So selfish. You were sleeping and you saw that somebody burnt your certificate, and before you remove the certificate from the fire, that place that your name is, fire burnt it. When you woke up, you say, what? I know the meaning of this dream. I understand what is about to happen. Shakata throughout the night. They showed you that darkness like a cloud is spreading over a region. You just saw it like gloominess rolling like a blanket. You wake up and things they happen. The only thing that can move you is anything that touches you. You are not a son. You cannot respond to the burden of the Father.